All right, here with Coach Jay for the 2013 softball preview. Been going to practice here for about 3 weeks now, and the season starts this weekend. But looking forward to the spring, what are you excited about going into the season?
Well, first of all, we're just excited to play anybody other than ourselves. I mean, it's been a long preseason, and we're really excited about getting outside. Good opening weekend competition, playing a really good SEC team, and any SEC team is good, but and then we're playing a Florida school, so in Stetson. Got our work cut out for us, but really looking forward to it.
And being a northern team, obviously disadvantage in not going outside, but you did get a chance in the fall season. You get some competition. You get a feel for what your team is like. What did you see out of the fall that you're really looking forward to not going in the spring?
Well, I think right away in the fall we showed that we could pitch. You know, we could pitch a lot better than we had. Really good competition right now. We're using 3 and even sometimes four players. I like us a lot on the mound. I think we're going to be in every game now, and hoping that'll lead to a lot of confidence with the rest of the team.
For some of the fans that don't realize the newcomers that are coming in, talk about the pitchers right now, the 2 starting pitchers, the new ones that will see a lot of time this spring.
Well, new to us this year is a transfer, Kelly Smith. She was a 4.24 transfer. She's a junior, and she brings a lot to the table just in experience, poise, been in a lot of games, give us some calm, in the field. And then we added a freshman, Danny Goranson from Illinois, who might be one of the more competitive freshman pitchers we've seen in a while. Got a lot of innings, pitched her team to the state championship in Illinois, and just really a great player. So. And then in addition to that, I've been really pleased with the other 2 pitchers who have responded well to that competition and have been really competing well in practice. And they haven't surrendered by any means. I mean, they really are fighting to get the ball and trying to prove themselves. So I feel good about what's going on right now on the mound.
I mean, that's what you want is competition, right? You want people to raise their game when somebody else comes in. How nice is that for you, the 2 starting pitchers that we just mentioned, the new people, that there's a junior college transfer and a freshman, so it's not the 2 freshmen that you're just relying on, that Kelly has some of that experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's so important that the pitching staff feel like they are a staff. I mean, no one player is going to be able to get it done. You've got to have kids who feel connected as a staff and understand that they're going to be able to do different roles. I mean, and they each really do present a different style. Kelly spins the ball extremely well, a lot of movement. Cassie is one who throws the ball hard and throws the ball, not quite the same type of pitches, so they balance each other out really well. One's more of a north-south, one's more of an east-west. The freshman just, is competitive as all get out and has got a good mix of pitches. And then Carly Beck is, as a sophomore, I mean, she took her lumps, but she's nice in that she can also hit for herself and play another position, which allows us some flexibility in the hitting lineup. So each one of them brings something a little different to the table. They complement each other well, and I really expect them to use them in those roles right away.
Looking at the infield now, a lot of starters coming back. I know you're still young there, played a couple of freshmen there last year, but talk about your infield. A lot of people coming back for you. Yeah,
with a lot of experience. We'll have a sophomore catcher, a sophomore at first, and a sophomore at shortstop to start with. And you would think that would be somewhat scary, and yet they all 3 saw so much action last year that I feel like they're very experienced back. And then, of course, you got the 2 seniors who have played almost every inning at second and third. So feel really good about our infield in general. Destiny Luna, a freshman and newcomer, is also a player that I really see getting some innings on the infield as well, whether it be at short or second, in addition to her, playing the outfield. So she's a very, very talented freshman who'll see some time right away.
Looking out in the outfield, it starts in center field. Kylie Hopkins, just named one of the top 50 USA softball players going into the season, a player to watch. Ranked second in the Big Ten last year. She really anchors the outfield out there in center.
Well, having a player as good as Kylene back is really great. That top 50 watch list is no joke. I mean, that's a tremendous honor for her. She hit 400 all year and just fell a little short there at the end, but tremendous competitor. tremendous outfielder. I mean, it's interesting. All of our highlight reels just show Kylene catching ball after ball after ball. I hope she doesn't have to work that hard this year. I'm really hoping. But boy, she's a true outfielder and a great player, and somebody who ought to anchor the leadoff position for us in the lineup.
When you look at the other spots, you mentioned Destiny Luna too. It looks like she could get some time in the outfield as well. She had a really nice fall season.
Yeah, she did. Destiny projects right now as a starting right fielder. Played a little bit of that in club ball. Trained hard at it this fall. Swings from the left side. I think she can be an impact player. It's not always easy, playing the outfield, particularly right field. The ball spins very differently in right than it does in left. But she's a gamer and very athletic. And I think she's going to be able to handle it.
In left field, Sarah Bowling, she's got some pop, hit a few homers. So what do you see out of her in left field?
Well, this is Sarah Bowling's opportunity. I mean, Sarah has always been a good hitter, but really didn't enjoy the role. I mean, she really wanted to find her own spot on the field. She's fairly versatile. We recruited her actually as a catcher, and she played a little first base. But she's really found a home now in left field. It's not a natural position for her. She's had to work extremely hard, but I think she's going to be okay out there. No doubt her upside at the plate is huge. I mean, when Sarah's bat runs into the ball, it goes. I mean, there's no weak line drives or Texas leaguers for Sarah. I mean, it's a home run or maybe nothing. So she provides a lot of excitement in the lineup.
When you look at behind the plate, you have a couple people with some experience catching. What's your plan going into the season with that position? Well,
interestingly enough, we've had to revamp our plan a little bit catching because the player that we thought was going to catch broke her leg as a freshman, and so it put her back a class. So there's two sophomores in that class. One is actually a redshirt sophomore in Stephanie Sanders. Both Sanders and Stouffer are doing a great job, and I can't sit here and tell you I think one of them's outright won the job over the other one. Unfortunately for Steph, she got hurt again just last week and may or may not be able to be back for the opening weekend, but we certainly expect her back right after that, if not for opening weekend. So both have an interesting skill set, a little bit different style of player. Both can hit. I anticipate maybe rotating them until we see which one of them really earns it. Good news for both of them. I think if the one who doesn't catch, I think it's got an outstanding shot at the designated player role and maybe even play a little outfield. They both have experience at both of those roles. So I expect them both to compete for one of the starting 9 one way or another.
I know you like to mix and match your lineup a lot with the designated player. These first tournaments, when you are kind of unsure where your lineup is it a set lineup and you see where it goes, or are you going to mix and match a lot? What can the fans expect to see when the box scores come in and they're looking and seeing who's playing where?
Well, this year more than some, we're a little thinner than we have been in the past, and so I won't be able to do as much as that as maybe I'd like. I anticipate playing almost everyone the first weekend. I try not to make any big decisions until we play about 10 games and let things shake out a little bit. But there are some roles that I'd like to see solidified, and then barring an injury, I don't anticipate moving them, but I'll bet you we use at least 12 or 13 players, which is maybe about the same, I guess, maybe a little fewer than normal.
Looking at the schedule, starting off with the Stetson tournament this weekend, just talk about the non-conference, your philosophy behind where you're going and everything leading up to the Big Ten season and playing here at Cydia Stadium.
Well, we've got a good balanced schedule this year. Maybe a little, maybe not as loaded with top 20 early that we had last year, but certainly anytime you're playing a team from Florida and a team from the SEC, you've got your work cut out for us. There's going to be no gimmies early. And then, then the second weekend we go to Arizona State. There again, real good mix of teams. No gimmies, but they're again not every single game top 20. Certainly teams that are on par with us and teams I think we can sneak up and beat. So I'm really excited about our preseason schedule. The goal is to play enough competition where you feel battle tested for the Big Ten, but not so battle-tested you don't have any confidence. So hopefully this schedule will provide that.
Looking at your coaching staff, you have a coach who's been here for a little while, and you have a new coach as well. Can you talk about the staff?
Super excited about the staff this year. Jessica Bograkis has been with me now for several years. I think she's worked very hard over the summer to continue to learn and grow and get better as our pitching coach. And adding Charles Fobbs is just been a total treat. I mean, he works extremely hard. He's got a very large toolbox to draw from, having been a longtime high school softball coach and a longtime club guy and a coach. And there are a lot of transitions from, I think, football to softball. There are a lot of football people in softball, believe it or not. And he just brings a wealth of experience to the table, having been a coach for that long. And the players have really responded to him well. So I feel good about our staff. I feel good as well that they round me out well. It's always good to have people around you that are not just like you. And I think that's what Charles and Jessica do for us.
And lastly, looking at the schedule, it's almost a countdown to playing Jacquie Stadium. It's such a beautiful stadium on campus. Just talk about what that atmosphere is like and what that has done to recruiting-wise, Big Ten Network. It's really kind of changed the program.
Well, the stadium is everything. I mean, you hate to overstate it, but it's everything. And it was a game changer for us. The 2012 class, the freshmen this year, I think are a result or a direct line to the stadium. We didn't sell it before we had it, but once we had it, we sold it hard, and I think that 12 class really reflects the value of the stadium. They're very talented players. The 13s, I think, are even better than the 12s, and the 14s that we have coming, I think, are even better than the 13s. So that's saying a lot. I think the stadium will continue to help us. You just can't win anymore without first-class facilities, and Jacquie Stadium certainly gives that to us. It'll be a little bit of a wait till we open at home, but when we do, it'll be really worth it.
That's Head Coach Jacquie Joseph previewing the 2013 season. Thanks for joining us, Coach.
Thank you for having me.